Good morning. I'm having technical difficulties.
Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our fourth and final CSS Ministry Training Program question and answer session. I'm hoping that you have lots of questions and that we can answer them for you. We're just about getting ready to launch the program. Actually, at the beginning of next month. We're really, really excited and we're ready to go. So I want to introduce Margine, who's driving the call. She's our communications director. There's Jennifer Heinzig. She's our registrar, and our spiritual director, Darlene Hunter. We have Shatui Chadbourne with us. We have Wendy Cummins, Lisa Sterling as a minister, Jocelyn, you're here, a minister, and Judy Lay is here, a fellow minister. So there you have quite a few ministers on the call today too, to be of help and maybe answer some questions as well. I'd first like if Darlene, our spiritual director, would say an opening prayer, please.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Susan, our Global University Director. Thank you very much for holding these calls and for orchestrating all of them and all that you do in the seat that you're holding. So thank you. So welcome, everybody. Let's just take a breath and just close your eyes for a moment and allow your feet or wherever you are to touch the ground. Maybe you're sitting on the ground, just to be in connection with Mother Earth right now. And just breathe into your heart and feel her through your feet, down into the belly or the core. And all the breath and support and life that she pushes up from that core that lives on top of her, including us as we are a part of her, and just connect right now. Connect to the earth and all her beings. And when you feel that connection and you feel yourself as part of that over connection, breathe again and breathe on up, right up to your crown chakra and out into the star nation. You connect in there and you see this beautiful blue spinning planet as she is amongst her relations, all of cosmos, all of the celestial court. Give thanks for our star nation and for our ancestors. And for the sun that brings this warmth right now where I'm sitting on this planet. Sparking the fire that not only lives in our heart, but through its thunder and lightning and thunder beings that kisses our planet right now during this time. We pray for that calm union where earth and the sky meet. And we give thanks for this breath that we are breathing, that we are taking together this morning as we got up and consciously connected our breaths to one another, to Mother Earth. Connecting our breath in life, knowing how sacred all life is. And as we breathe into our heart again, we give thanks to this elemental mother of water, of the sacred water that flows through all things, that flows below us and rides above us, and all around us and inside of us, and the beautiful wisdom of the oceans, and knowing that each and every one of us were birthed through this water, the sacred holy water. Right now is the time of great awareness and consciousness as we are asked to stay in the present moment and bring our focus to our alignment with all that is, and all that is includes our humanity, and all that is includes what's happening on the earth right now, our connection to all things. Mother Earth is speaking to us loudly and has been. We pray for all of those who have been affected by these fires, by the flooding, by the mudslides, by the hurricanes, by the weather that she is sharing with us around this planet. All the people that have been affected and those that have been crossing over in the solitude because of the virus, because of what is happening on our planet with our people crossing over in a time where their relatives and their ceremonies have not been able to hold them in that way. Many prayers that way. So much grief right now on the planet. There's a vulnerability when our systems fall down, Holy One, Creator. We know that we were all brought to this planet at this time to be the change that was needed in order for us to walk through this doorway of the sixth extinction. We have an opportunity and the possibilities that we don't even know we have in this moment to create a better place, to go back to remembering our connection to Mother Earth and all of the beings that are here to help us and to guide us. All those in Star Nation, thank you. I know for me, Holy One, I'm feeling a little unsettled this morning, as many have had to evacuate from their homes and watch our sacred forests and then those that live inside of them lose their lives, and those that have lost their homes. Thank you for touching us all at these moments of vulnerability. And through that vulnerability, I am so grateful for the prayers that we have that go around this earth, that we have the wisdom of the elders and of those First Nation people that know how to tend to the earth and can teach us as we go back to our own roots and connect that way with the way that we stand two-legged on this planet, that we remember that it is in our offerings and in our payments that is the sacred reciprocity, that is the cycle of life, that is the circle of life. Thank you for those voices that are coming forward to pray for all of life, for all of life, for all of life, for new economic models that are coming into play to create a place for keeping these sacred cultures alive and growing, a way to protect sacred territories. For it's those First Nations people that are caring for 80%, they say, of our planet, that brings the life to all of us. Bless them, keep them safe. There's so much coming at them right now. Thank you for the voices and for the songs and for the prayers as we remember the spirit that is guiding our lives and the prayer it is that we follow. I am so grateful for our ceremonies. I'm so grateful for our community. I am so grateful for those that are hearing the call to come and be a link in this big web of life that is lit up around the earth, holding a basket that has a vibration that is carrying these sacred medicines in these way of life into the next and the fifth dimension, the fifth world of unity. For that is the only way we all walk through this doorway together. We offer our prayers of love and clarity, of compassion and forgiveness, of sacred boundary to all that is happening on the earth right now. We are watching, as we've been told, our systems that are breaking down, all of our systems that are breaking down, and the importance of our voices and the importance of our understanding of why it's breaking down, and that we can look forward to that new day, to what is breaking through, and we can be a part of that which is breaking through in order to make change on our planet. I am so humbled and grateful to be here in this moment in time and to have had this same passion pull me into being part of a community that was wanting to wake up inside itself, to have a safe place to pray, to grow our food and raise our children and become more conscious and connected. Thank you for almost 30 years of being together, of this Kayamari village, a global spiritual village that came together as God's experiment so many years ago. Holy One, we were so naive, as you know, and we just put one step in front of the other as we followed the direction that you had given us, Great Mother. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for having this dream where we get to dream each other into this reality that we're all living in. Thank you for the many, many lives that have woven their stories in to make this such a rich tapestry that is never complete, that keeps growing and adding these strands. And in this moment, I am so very appreciative that all of our brothers and sisters can be here in spirit, if not in person. For all of our First Nations, as I sit here in the Pomo and coastal Miwok territories, I give great thanks for our relations that way, our connections. For relations, she told us, is the root of all. And thank you for our Black and brown people of color that have raised their voices in these times of great change and said once again to look within and look where racism and diversity bias lives inside you. And Holy One, we're listening. We are listening. We are going within to unravel that inside of ourselves so that we can be a voice for our humanity. Thank you for all those who are minorities in so many different ways that have come to us, for those that are of different physical and mental and racial and learning and gender diversities. Thank you. I give great thanks for all those that are having the courage to show up in this present day, in this present time, and in this present moment. For it is in the present moment. It is in the present moment that allows all those possibilities to happen. Thank you for those that have been in our community for so long, and thank you for those that are just coming in now, and thank you for the Center for Sacred Studies and for all those staff that have been so lovingly devoted to this mission for so long. Thank you. Thank you for Jyoti and for Russell, for their spiritual leadership and guidance as we came together. Look within each and every one of us, O Holy One, and find the places that are calling to be touched today, been shared today as we listen to each other. Welcome to this opportunity after our pause year to once again reopen this portal through prayer of the ministry training program. For it is in this moment that she is calling her spiritual warriors to come to answer their own authenticity, their own authentic herb that they are in your vast and diverse garden, Mom. We need each and every one. Thank you. Thank you for my life as well, and for my family, and for the safety of all of those that are going through their struggles right now. Please keep us safe and keep us connected. We're so very grateful. This I pray, this I pray, this I pray.
Thank you, Darlene. And welcome again, everybody. So in this space, I would love if everybody, I want to see everybody, if I'm going to go around, and if you can just give your name and where you're from, but to meet everyone. So I'm going to start with Margine.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Margine Bro. I am a reverend from the Raven Clan 2019. I'm actually the communication director of Center for Circus Studies, and I'm living in this beautiful place in Manchester City. And welcome, everybody. Aho.
Thank you, Margine. Let's see. How about Jennifer?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Hensick. Before I introduce myself, I just want to let everybody know this call is being recorded today and will be uploaded onto our website. So I am the MTP registrar, and I've met many of you and we've spoken, so it's great to see your faces again, and I look forward to connecting with those of you that are new. And I'm a minister of 2016 Water Star Clan, and I'm sitting right now, I live in Nevada City, but I'm sitting at Wendy's house in Grass Valley because we were evacuated 3 days ago, and then we get to go home later today. So I'll let Wendy introduce herself since she's right here.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
My name's Wendy Cummins, and I'm in beautiful Grass Valley. I moved here in April. I'm a co-founder of our Kayumari community and a former Global University Director, a mentor, and the president of the board of the Center for Sacred Studies. And I'm just thrilled with this, the program landing this year, and excited about it, and just welcome everybody. Thank you. Oh, and I'm Blue Deer Clan.
Thank you, Wendy and Jennifer. Lisa Sterling.
Hello, I am Lisa Sterling. I live north of Seattle on the traditional land of the Snohomish peoples in the Salish Sea area. And I am a minister of walking prayer ordained in 2016 in the Water Star Clan.
Thank you, Lisa. Shatui.
I think that worked. Yeah. Hello, my name is Shitui Akunagwenta. My people are from upstate New York, Haudenosaunee. I currently live here in Northern California in my husband's territory, the Wailaki people. And I am also a graduate of the 2011 class of the Serpent Clan. Thank you.
Thank you, Shitu. See you next, Brianne.
Hi, I go by Bree, and I'm here in Lyons, Colorado. It's Cheyenne, Arapaho, Ute land, and we're also experiencing some really bad fires right now. We're just getting a little bit of rain, so still praying for that. Thank you. So good to be here.
Thank you, Bree. Petter.
Yes. Hello.
Welcome.
My name is Peder Karlsson. I'm from Sweden, in Europe. I live in northern Sweden. Right now I am in a very small village outside a town called Skellefteå. This is Sami land, the indigenous peoples of the northern Europe. And this is the first time I am in a meeting like this. I'm very happy to be part of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Jocelyn.
Your mic.
There, you got it?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm a graduate of the 2013 WaterClan. I'm currently on Vancouver Island near Victoria, Canada. Thank you.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Christina.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. My name is Christina Burris, and I live in San Diego, the land of the Kumeyaay.
Thank you. Sylvia.
My name is Sylvia Mayawid Lamu Sharma, and I reside here in Scottsdale, Arizona, the land of the Pima Nation, who are the river people, the Salt River. And I'm a Mexica, a grandmother of tradition. And I'm happy to be here. I remember when this organization started many years ago. And so I've been on my journey, and I'm at a crossroads. So I thought I would be on the line and see where I go with this opportunity to be in community. Ipanemawani is how we say our goodbye. Ipanemawani.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Okay, I'll unmute myself again.
Catherine.
Man, my name is Catherine, and when I saw your faces pop up, it just took my breath away. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Catherine Ho'okano, and I'm originally from Oahu, Hawaii, and currently I'm living in Tucson, Arizona, and I believe it's the Tohono people, but there's so many tribes around this area, so I'm blessed to be here, and very excited for this opportunity again to come around. I realize that it's my time now, and I'm answering your call. For those of you that know me, I've traveled with this prayer for 10 years, and I've recently let go of a 13-year marriage. And in those 10 years, this has been my prayer to do this program. And I just realized that in as much as it was my prayer, it just wasn't my time. As soon as I let go of that marriage, I moved my children and myself into this condominium. And it's small and it's precious. And we've been here for 2.5 months. And in these 2.5 months, I've had the most amazing miracles of financial blessings pour on my head. And it's allowing me to sit here today, and I can't even breathe. So thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Frank.
Hi, everyone. I'm Frank Sanborn. I'm up here in the Salish Sea area, Linwood, Washington, home of the Tulalip and Snoqualmie tribes, or what they're known as of today. I'm really honored to be here and being part of this opportunity to grow and to understand, and just really delighted to be here.
Thank you, Frank. Tanya.
Oh, all right. Hi, everybody. I'm Tanya, and I am from Berkeley, from Ohlone land, although I am currently temporarily calling in from New York City, and I was realizing that I don't know the land that I'm on, so that'll be a first thing I do upon getting off this call is learning that. And I've been spending a lot of time on your website and listening to different calls and talks recently, and I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. Heather.
Hi, I'm in the same room with Frank. I'm Heather Patterson. I'm originally from Virginia, and I live now in my adopted homeland, Tulalip and Snoqualmie tribes. And I have been working with a shaman and mentor for a number of years, and she is no longer able to mentor or practice due to health concerns. So I am seeking a path, and this opportunity has come up. I'm really excited to be here and grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Heather. Barbara.
Oh. Hello. Oh, that helps when I put the microphone down. I'm Barbara. I'm in Ottawa, Canada, which is Algonquin territory. I'm really glad to be here. I may actually have to leave because all of these time zone changes, I think I've kind of mixed things up a little bit, and I may have somebody coming in for an appointment shortly. So I'm really sorry about that. But I'm very excited to be part of this program as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Let's see, Deborah. Oh, you're muted.
Hi again.
Awesome.
My name is Debbie Milani. I live in Lake Tahoe, California. My daughter went through the program 2 years ago, I think, and I'm extremely excited to learn and grow and share. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Deborah. Aaliyah.
Hi there, my name is Alia. I'm happy to be here today. I'm a therapist and co-facilitator, striving to learn from the earth how to be a part of her own evolutionary process. And I'm excited to learn today about if this program may fit into my process of development. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alia. Deborah.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Deborah. I live in Mill Valley, California. I apologize for not showing my face right away. I've been multitasking and helping people who don't have internet and are evacuated, and I'm sort of like a the local NBC, ABC, whatever channel that may be, to help my friends in need. And so I've really kind of already started my ministry early. And so, oh my gosh. Thank you so much for resonating in me as I was helping and serving in text and email while you were saying it to those in need. And thank you. I feel the call and the path. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Let's see. The squares moved around on me. Shauna.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I have a new thing. I'm from Utah, and I hope I have the name of the tribes right that are in this area. There's quite a few. I know there's Ute and Paiute, some Shoshone, Dene, the ancient Fremont, and I obviously need to study more. I love this community, CSS. I've had it on my heart to do this ministry program for a long time. I'm in discernment of the timing, whether it's now or another time. So I'm here to listen and to learn more. And I hope all of you in Northern California are safe. I'm so sorry you're having to deal with these fires again. My prayer and heart goes out.
Thank you, Shauna. Judy Lay.
Good morning, everybody. I am currently living in Grass Valley, which is on land. They are currently working very hard to receive federal recognition. Some things occurred early on where they lost that, and they are now working for that. We've had doing fundraisers for them to gain access to what is needed here to take care of that. So we just finished with packing up, and now we're holding, and I think the evacuation alert has lifted off of this area where we are, but things are still pretty difficult in terms of air quality. So just holding an anchor here for being in gratitude and saying our prayers for the well-being of all as we move through this really treacherous fire time. So grateful to be on the call, and I'm part of the was ordained in 2011, and my sisters are belonging to the Serpent Clan. So much love to all of you, and look forward to hearing your questions and seeing what might unfold for us. Aho, those are my words.
Thank you, Judy. Deborah Milani, did I get you? Okay, we're okay. Lindsay. You're muted, Lindsay.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. My name is Lindsay, and I'm calling from
London, and I have just learned that the tribal people, if you go back to pre-Roman era, it would have been the Atrebates in this area. And this is my first connection to the Center for Sacred Studies. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lindsay. Let's see. There's a phone number, 847-609.
Hello, this is Carrie. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Carrie Lee, and I'm calling from Northern Illinois. And I'm on the ancestral lands of the Fox and the Sac, the Kickapoo and the Potawatomi, which is now part of the Ho-Chunk Nation. And this is my first connection with this Center for Sacred Studies, and I've been researching a ministerial program to connect with most of this year. Particularly, I started through the Emerson Institute and then the All Faith Seminary in New York with their Miracle Study program. However, I work, I head up a not-for-profit, and we protect natural land and restore natural land. And I'm very connected with an earth-centered spirituality, and this spoke to me when I first saw it, and I spent some time watching the videos and reading your webpage, and I'm very drawn to this. But I do have some questions, so I'm grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. And someone just came on. Is that Jay?
Hey, that's me.
Hi. We're just doing introductions. You know, your name, where you're from.
Hi, I'm Omahaje,
Welcome.
also known as Jay, and I'm living in Portland, Oregon now on the traditional lands of the Multnomah, Clackamas, bands of Chinook, Molalla, Mashpee, Klickitat. There's a lot of tribes, and maybe a few more that I can't remember off the top of my head. And yeah, what else? Was there another prompt that I missed?
No, you got it.
Cool.
Unless you want to share more, but you got it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Glad to hear.
Thank you. Welcome. And let's see, there was another phone number. Well, let's see. This. Well, I'll go Betsy Davis.
Aloha. My name is Primananda, and I'm not hearing my voice over the phone, so I'm wondering if you are.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I live on Big Island of Hawaii near Pahoa, and I've been interested in this program for many years, and I have met a few of you, Darlene and Joy T. I met in Brazil, and I really want to do it, and I have a few technical challenges like with the Wi-Fi and money and things, but I'm just really feeling like it's time to overcome all that and go for it. So I came on this call today. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Welcome. And I think the last person is Betsy Davis.
Hi, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually I'm traveling in Oregon, so I'm going through Klamath Falls, and I have my mask on, so I hope you can hear me. But I'm from the Bay Area, Ohlone Territory, and I'm just interested in checking out the thing. It's actually interesting. I just got a text from Stacy Bowden. She's the one that I've been working with for about 10 years. So she's introduced me to the Center for Sacred Studies. And I'm just interested in checking this out and just seeing if it's a possibility to join. But yeah, so that's me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, then now I'm going to hand it over to Jennifer Heinzig, our registrar, and she is going to give you some information. Hi, Jen.
Hi again, everyone. Great to see all of you and hear where you're from. I didn't mention before that we're on Nisenan territory, so thank you, Judy Lay, for bringing that in. And so yeah, welcome everybody. I am the registrar. So when you go online and submit your application, I'm the one that you'll be interfacing with. And so I just wanted to kind of go over the process of what that looks like. I know some of you have already gone through the process, so bear with me as I explain. And if any questions come up that I don't cover, you can ask them in the chat and I'll do my best to capture them, or one of the alumni will answer your question also. So the first thing to do, if after this call you're really feeling called to the program and want to take the next step, is to go online to our page and apply. And there's an application that you fill out, and it's basically your contact information, and then there's a series of questions about your history with spirituality, or what your path has been, and really there's no right or wrong path. We're open to all paths, whatever that looks like. We're just getting a general sense of what your background is and whatnot, to get to know you a little bit better. And with the application, you also pay a $45 application fee, and that is non-refundable, but that's the only commitment at that point. And then after that, assuming your application is accepted, then the next step would be to register. And so there's a registration form on the website also. And the registration form then goes into the payment options, and there's several options. You can either pay for the course all up front, you can pay for it in 2 installments. So at the beginning of the first year and at the beginning of the second year, you can pay 4 installments, or you can pay monthly. And so you can set up whatever payment option you want at that point, and then you pay a $500 deposit to hold your spot, and that is non-refundable. And we had an early bird price that was $500 off that we've extended until the program start date, because so many people are having circumstances right now with COVID and jobs and whatnot. So the price is not going to change, but if you are really interested, I would recommend getting on it, because we are starting to fill up, and I have a lot of people that are planning on stepping in that haven't. So if you want to hold your spot, I would say do that sooner rather than later. And so then at that point, you're in the class, which is great. And what's wonderful is that what I've noticed is each class kind of has its own energy and vibration. So this class has the people that are coming in, and what I'm seeing already is stepping into some big prayers, which obviously at these times we're all calling in. So so your clan will get to know each other, and each clan, as you heard us share, has a different name, and you come up with that name yourself. So the program itself, the structure of it is it's a 2-year program, and there's 11 modules per year, 22 modules total, and each module has its own study of focus. So each month you'll be focusing on one topic, and within the month you'll have a live instructor call, a Zoom call, which you'll have with your class and your instructor, and you'll have a live Zoom call with Darlene, our spiritual director, with your class, so you can talk about what's coming up for you and hear what's going on in the community and touch in that way. And so those are scheduled once a month, and typically at 6 p.m. during the week, so we can Pacific time. So we've found that time works best for most time zones. And if you're not able to make the call, they are recorded so you can watch them later. And in addition to the live calls, there's a video recording from your instructor that goes over the module material. there's an audio recording from your instructor, and then there's an elder's corner, which is a teaching from an elder that is paired up with the module for that month also. And then there is a reading assignment, so there'll be a book that you read. And there's a practicum that's assigned to it, so something to focus on, reflect on, that you work into the material as it works you. It's really an alchemical process, so it kind of weaves itself into your life and expresses itself in whatever way it meets you, which is always, I don't know if fun's the word, but interesting to see how that meets us and relates to our lives. So, and then at the end of the month, you take all of those bits and pieces, and as part of the integration process, you write a reflection paper, and that's submitted to me, and it's about 500 words, and it's not an academic paper. It's more of like a journal entry, and it really helps with the integration of the material. And so that's the structure. And then the other piece is you're also paired up with a mentor, and every month you will schedule a one-on-one call with your mentor, and that can be scheduled around what time works best for you. And so your mentor is there for support. And then we also have an alumni support network, which is going to be available, and that's going to be basically we'll have on the student portal, which you'll get access to once class starts, where you can navigate the class material and find reference materials and anything that relates to the module. But there will be a alumni support network page where you can access contacts to different alumni ministers that are making themselves available for extra support. So if you're feeling like you need additional support outside of your mentor, you want more of like a peer conversation to ask questions, they will be listed on there, and there will be some information about what they do in the world. So if there's somebody that you connect with that's doing what you're doing or wanting to do, that support is there also. So let me think. I think that covers most of it. Oh, thank you, Wendy. So
I tried to ventriloquist it to you.
So at the end of year 1 and at the end of year 2, there is an in-person retreat. And obviously these are, curious times, and we're in the flow of what is happening. So the first retreat would be August 2021, and we're hopeful that we will be able to do that. And we will see where we're at and assess when we get there. And those retreats are in Northern California. And the price of the retreats is not included in the tuition price. The price is going to be between $850 and $900. So you will need to budget for that separately. Other additional costs to think of are the reading. So the books each month, there's a book. And then also one of the requirements, which we are also in the flow with, is the breath works. So typically that you roll a 4, and the preference is that it's Maitri breath work. That's a type of breath work that we train and facilitate. But if you don't have Maitri in your area, there's other breath works that can that we'll accept. We can talk about that. And also, once again, with the COVID restrictions, if breath work is not available, we will figure that out when we get there. So just like we're all doing right now in this time. So if you have other questions that I didn't cover, you can put them in the chat, and I will put my contact information in there also, and feel free to reach out to me directly. And I look forward to getting to know all of you better. So thank you.
Cost of the program.
Oh, okay. Cost of the program is, somebody asked, is $58.95.
Okay, great. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Jennifer. All right, I would like to hand it over to Darlene, our spiritual director.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. And thank you, Jennifer, for encapsulating all of that so that everybody can get a base of what it is and how this ministry program unfolds itself. And so what I wanted to do for a moment is to really acknowledge the field and the line that this ministry training program has sat inside, because it's really about what is the lineage and what are the lines and what are we honoring in this moment as well. And so I mentioned a little in the prayer, but 25 years ago, and of course many of us knew each other before then, but 25 years ago in June, a bunch of people that had been meeting together and had met some of ourselves and had met Russell and Jyoti decided to create an intentional community. Whatever that looked like for us, we were not really sure, but we were clear that we wanted a place to pray and to grow our food and raise our children and be in nature and live in nature. So in June of 1995, we drove up a 14-mile logger road in the Stanislaus National Forest, under 160 acres in the foothills. And it's still there, located north of Yosemite National Park, and it is in the traditional territory of the Tuolumne Band of Miwok Indians, who were pushed off the mountain when gold was discovered. So that is when gold was discovered in California, and this is where Mom planted us. As you heard, Wendy is one of the co-founders and one of the founders there as well. And so we had a lot of work to do to pray and clean up and have ceremonies and on the land. And what a blessing it was to live in the middle of 160 acres. Of course, my children at the time, they were 7 and 9 and weren't really sure about that. So we were guided by our spiritual elders and founders, Jyoti and Russell Park, and we brought all of our stories because we all knew each other in our histories and our other lives. We were all meant to come together, like we were all meant to come together in this moment of time. And so we started weaving those threads of ours, and we started weaving a new story together, one of not a throwaway society, but about longevity. And we started to healing ourselves, and we started nurturing our relation to Great Spirit, to the vine that lived inside all of us and around us. And oh my gosh, this wonderful creation of life that we got to actually live in and be in. And we arrived there just like we're all arriving wherever here on this call, by listening to our dreams and the visions that we've been given, listening to the prophecies that Mother Earth herself has been sharing with us. And one of the ways I'd like to share is that we know when Spirit is really talking to us, when more than one person is catching what that next wave is to be. And so our name was brought, Kayumari, which is a Huichol people's called the blue deer that brings messages from Spirit. And it said that where blue deer walks, medicine grows, that bring healing to the communities. And Kayumari became just that, grounds for our own learning, our growing, and for our waking up. And what we notice is that Kayumari, this blue deer that paves the way for the mother to land fully and then create what it is that she is wanting us to create with her. And so we kept growing. We grew in our land base as a way of touching the different parts of the globe. We have a community that is 21 years old, just outside of Prague, Kayumari Lokov, and we were just able to get on a call few weeks ago and connect, because we were all supposed to be there to celebrate our 21st birthday there, because we couldn't do it last year for some reason for us. And we also, up to a few years ago, had a home that we were caretaking in the Brazilian Amazon, and which we have since turned over to grandmother Clara of the 13 indigenous grandmothers and her Santa Casa Healing Center. We have places out in in upper state New York and along the coast. We have communities up in Washington and in Canada, and in Europe, and Sweden is looking to make a center for sacred studies there as well. And so we've gone many places, this deer hops, you know, it doesn't stay in one place. And so as we grew, many thousands of people drove up that logger road, that adventure, that pilgrimage, and many elders from many different traditions came to share their wisdom. And so it allowed us, with that connection of relations, to get in touch once again with that we are a part of Mother Earth. And so it returns us to ourselves when we pray for her. And then in 1998, we were in ceremony and the mother gave us this amazing basket. And she said to us at the time that I'm going to give you one of my most precious baskets. And inside this basket are some of my most treasured jewels. These jewels represent sacred lines of prayer that go back to the original times. Do not mix them. Do not change them. Keep them safe and protect them. I have something, walk them through the doorway of the new millennium. I have something that we are going to do. And so we weren't sure what that meant, but you know, we're listening to what she has to say to us. And so during that time, after that, many people came up that mountain that represented each of those lines of prayers, of each of those treasured sacred jewels that she had. And each of those came up the mountain to teach us and in the sacred earth-based ways of life. And so we continued to grow. And then in 2001, where many shifts and changes were happening on our planet, if you remember, we realized that there was something that we needed to do in order to protect those ways of prayer. And so as we searched for what that would be, out of that search and grew out of the community is this global initiative in order to keep these ways of prayer safe, of the Center for Sacred Studies. And it created a collaboration with all of our relatives around the earth to honor our ceremonies in our sanctuaries, to inspire them with our global university through our ministry and our educational programs. And it continues, you know, the Center for Sacred Studies and these ways of prayer are continuing with over 250 ministers of walking prayer all around the world. And now we have another one that's launching in September. Yay. So then in 2004, as we kept growing, we followed prophecies and visions that spoke about the grandmother's wisdom. And many in our community were receiving these visions and dreams about creating this grandmother's council together. And from that, from those dreams, from our innocence, from just following the prayer that's put in front of us, following the organic process, because we really don't know much about anything, but we do know about that. If we follow that which brought us here, then we're going to be okay. We follow the medicine that is our prayer. And so the International Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers was initiated in 2004 through our relationships. And they came, they answered the call to sit on the council. They were all lineage holders of those sacred jewels that were in our basket that we were given to caretake in 1998. And so as many of you know, they traveled to each of their own home places around the world to pray, to develop solidarity and culture exchange, so much education and community outreach, sustainable community development. And in that creation, I think there are like grandmother councils in, I don't know, I've heard many different stories, but 78 different nations around this beautiful Mother Earth of ours. And so they did indeed shake the world awake as they then initiated to create their own autonomous relationship in 2014. And so we kept growing. And in 2014, more information came through to create the fountain for the natural order of our existence, which was forging a path forward to restore a global economy of reciprocity and relationship and collaboration with nature and all of the sacred, about sacred lands and sacred culture and sacred economics. And in this, we just kept following guidance and following principles and following the protocol. And it actually took us to Colombia, and where we met with our relations. You've heard of the Kogis. There's 4 different tribes there. And they shared that the information that we have been receiving matched the information about walking forward in this way that we can be in relationship with the earth, for that's where we have gotten so far removed from. And so with that, the fountain being birthed in 2014 in order to carry out the mission of our sacred land and protecting our sacred cultures, we then were initiated into holding 4 years of the Unity Concert, which was held in South Dakota for 4 years as a free concert with many different people coming and our First Nations people coming to honor the Black Hills, which is the heart of everything there is. And that global work then began to restore and protect sacred sites. And then growing still in 2019 through the work of the Fountain and the Center for Sacred Studies, as we are holding the basket for these things to land, the Mother Earth delegation of the United Nations, Indigenous Nations took place, which was supposed to be a private gathering in March of this year and became a public offering of prayer and sharing wisdom when this COVID landed on us, and we had to be shelter in place, where we were able to see that when we go into our rooms and start contemplating what we have done to Mother Earth, things shift and happen so quickly. Skies became clear and waters became clear, and we could see what was happening. And so in this a Flourishing Diversity Summit in London, where many were meeting, that was when we heard that another 1.5 tons of radioactive waters had fallen in Fukushima. That's when the fires were happening last year down in the Amazons and everywhere at the time. We were evacuated then as well as now. Irina Rosa Maiori, grandmother, came to make a stand and said, we are being called to action right now. And that is how that Earth Mother delegation was formed. And so as we continue to grow, when we graduated and ordained our ministers in 2019, we listened, and we were told at that time that the message for us was to go inside for a moment and have a year of pause in that moment, so that we can listen to this divine creation, the Holy Mother, that has brought us all to this time, to see what it is that she was needing us to do. Is the program complete inside of itself, or what is it needing? What is she needing for us to do to hold this basket? Because it is our community and our ministry that is this container that is holding all that is being birthed right now. So those that are being called, everyone is their individual self, and your special medicine is what is being called right now to add to the weaving of this sacred basket. And so we prayed, and we took it to ceremonies, and she spoke again to us about, yes, just follow my bones, and that she had given to, when we prayed about the ministry program, when we were approached about having ministers for you're a church, so you need to do that kind of thing with the IRS. And so our ministry is one of a walking prayer. And when Jyoti and Wendy and I, sisters, sat down and prayed and opened this doorway back in, 2005, the first class landed in 2007, with a lot of people showing up in between to help us get something launched when we were in the middle, up above on a mountaintop with not very much Wi-Fi. What an interesting experience. We listened to her, and she gave us at the time the bones of the program, and then we filled in the bones of the program with who we knew. Again, the root of it all is relations. And so we went back and we listened to her bones and got in touch again and let her bones fall on us, so that we could be that connective tissue that would weave what it is that she was wanting. Those in the program that wanted a little bit of updating, those that needed a little bit more, those that needed something, those that were exactly right. New elder wisdom coming in, honoring those that have spoken before, because it's timeless and priceless, but many things have changed. And so in this amazing offering, my sister Shitui, who is going to speak to you in just a moment, as we were holding in this ministry curriculum update, we have this where we change our consciousness level and we bring in a moment where we update our whole system in order to be able to hold that moment of consciousness even further. And as we continue to update, we raise that vibration of the field. So the update team as we have been working together to bring in all the voices that need to be heard and what is being offered for all of our diverse community, is that we are getting back to the earth, back to earth-based, back to our relationship. And we are going to be praying before we open the program. And we'll be praying during this time, but we are following the 13 full moon calendar, and we're moving away from the Gregorian calendar, although things like payments and notices and all those kinds of things, we have to fall within some realm of sanity of the system and how it works. But in this system, in this spiritual alchemical process that you are jumping into, that you are being called to, being pulled to, is the relationship that we have to the moon, and how we are going to be following the 13 full moon calendar as we go through these 2 years of study. And so I'm very excited to, all of it is just lighting up inside, along with, since 2012, we have been, the Center for Sacred Studies has 4 guiding spiritual principles, and that is based on an indigenous process of relating with respect, responsibility, reciprocity, and relationship. And in those 4 guiding spiritual principles that we walk with is dynamic governance, which is a form that we govern ourselves with, which has their own 4 complementary governing principles that make such a hand of prayer that we can create this basket of working with the natural order of things in order to put this container, hold this container as it fluctuates and flows, so that we can actually land sacred, this motion of sacred economics, taking care of our sacred land territories, sacred cultures through that doorway. So many things are very exciting for me. And at this point, thank you for your listening. That's just a brief overview. I wanted you to really feel that there is a lineage that has happened, and there's 30 years of people coming together and being here and in our relating to one another, and to those lines that brought each of us here as well. So I want to just check in, and Shitui, if you can share about the 13 moons. And I know our elder vision keeper, Grandma Jyoti, has also jumped on the call to us, and I know that she needs to be off around by 12:30 or so 12:40. So thank you.
I'm up?
Yes, Shitui, why don't you share about the program That Way with the Moon?
Okay.
And this
Very good.
moon?
Yeah, very good. So thank you everyone for showing up today. Welcome to the call. We started this new moon cycle on July 26th. The day out of time was on July 25th. And during those few weeks following July 26th, several of us have been coming together, as my sister Darlene shared, with visioning how to move forward in these new times that we're coming into, these incredible times of possibility. And we realized at that time, let me end that. I don't know how to do this. I'm not a technological person. Sorry, guys. Oh, Lordy. I'm not a technological person, so I don't know all this stuff, so bear with me. Anyway, so when we came together, we really felt something tugging and pulling on our hearts. How can we make this program, since it's already a program of walking prayer, and it's a ministry of walking prayer, and I'm so honored to be a graduate of 2011, that what can I bring to this? And we all kind of came up with this feeling together, and we realized that this 12-month calendar that we're using right now is it's not in harmony with prayer, it's in harmony with politics. This calendar came from Pope Gregory VII, I believe, over 430 years ago. The calendar that we use, I think they call it the Gregorian calendar, was used to help normal, common people know when it was time to pay their taxes. And that, from that place, you can see what has happened. So we realized at that time that we needed to ditch this calendar if we're going to be a prayer community and go move forward in healing our planet, that we needed to adopt a calendar that is in alignment with nature and the universe. And it brings us back to center. It brings us back into alignment. So I wanted to share with you that we are right currently now, as we begin this process of this new ministry training program, we are now in the in-between times moon. This is a very powerful moon, and we're going to be having a very wonderful prayer circle on Friday night that we're going to hold that fire through Friday night into Saturday, and we will let it go out on Sunday morning, which is the beginning of the second moon, which is the harvesting moon, and that starts on August 23rd. So we will be coming together in prayer, and we will be sharing with you all, anyone who's on that call, we will be sharing what the in-between times moon calls for. And it is just so powerful when you look at the beginning of this program and how that aligns with the full moon, which is about unity. And it's a time we all need to unify. We all have something in common today, and we're all becoming conscious and wanting to save our planet. So I'm very excited to bring this teaching to this new ministry training program. And each month we'll have a prayer. Each month your spiritual director, Darlene, will be opening with her chat, and she will share the prayer for that month. And I will be offering up some additional teachings for you all on what each moon means, and some expanded information that you'll need. And it's just all very beautiful. And I invite each and every one of you to go outside at the beginning of each moon, lay down your tobacco, lay down your prayer, and take this in. And I'm telling you, you're going to love it. It's exciting, and it's going to bring us all together in a really wonderful way. So thank you for giving me this moment. And I will unmute myself.
Thank you, sis.
I would like to introduce our grandma elder and founder of Kayamari Center for Sacred Studies, Jyoti.
Hi, everyone. So I think I'm here for questions, right? To see if I can answer any questions that might be coming up from your heart. Sounds like Darlene really gave you the brushstroke of kind of what guided us through all this. We really don't know where we're going. Well, we're just going to stay in the moment with what's handed to us and show up for it. And all of this has unfolded from that kind of presence. So I trust that after all these years. And it's still taking us forward. So maybe I just like to rather open up the floor and see what kind of questions you have, and then I can answer them more personally that way, if that will help you. This is about your heart. What questions do you have? What brought you to sit with us today? What mystery is stirring? Okay.
Are there
no
questions?
I have a question. Jyoti, what's your favorite part of the program?
Oh, wow. Nobody's ever asked me that question before. My favorite part of the program is when we come together. When we first got this, we were given that you would come together at the end of each of the years of training, and that would be when we really all met each other in person. But there wasn't a meeting in the beginning, and some people wrote in and said, well, we really want to have a meeting first. And I said, well, then that's going to probably change the economics of it, but it will also change something else. I'm not sure, but we're just going to ride it the way that she gave it to us. And when we got there the first year, what was interesting is she had us kind of ride on our horse backwards through the gate, because we met each other so personally during the year. We met each other through our stories and the processes that this program takes you through, because you see, you're entering into an alchemical uh, medicine field that has called you to it. That's the way I understand it. And you're going to be dipped down into that field, and the modules are going to stimulate that field so that everybody in any different layer of where they're sitting in their consciousness or awareness or their experience life brought them to the table with, all of that's going to be addressed very individually in an archetypal field. It becomes very personally oriented towards what's going on to cultivate consciousness wherever it sits. Huh? And so by the time we get through all of that, and that's why it's got so many things lined up, so you've got a way of being held through those processes as you learn from them, as they crack you open, as they polish you, as they bring your heart's passion more visible to you and the world that you are dedicating your service. This is a calling. This is a calling. And so when we all come together and we go through ceremony together and we play together, but our personalities met long ago. So when we walk into that room the first time, there is such a bonding that just goes like a flower going, and it just fills the room with its aroma. And it's been that way consistently ever since we opened the program. And it became later for me to understand that, yeah, we're walking into this very different than we did in our outer world, where our personas needed to be developed in order to do what we were doing out there. But this is a place where our personalities get to meet, our heart get to meet, our souls get to meet, and our mission gets to meet. So I think that's the favorite part of this program that grew. Thanks for the question, Wendy.
I have another question. Catherine, you have a question.
I do. I was just curious as far as the naming of each year and each clan, and I noticed how does that derived? I've never really asked that question before. I'm really curious. And what, maybe do you have the name for this year as well?
Well, each class comes up with their own name.
Oh, okay.
That started through the students. They started having a familiarity with Earth, and there was something that would happen because each class comes in my experience, and I'm just one point on a circle, so everybody's experience needs to be voiced before we really see the whole of it, you know? But so from this point in the circle, my experience is that each class comes in and has over all these years, even before in trainings that we did prior to this being presented to us, they come in carrying something for the collective. They come in as part of their mission, carrying something that they're willing to take on for the collective. So you immediately are put in service. And through that work, they began to feel into the rhythms of the earth. And each clan, there was a medicine, if you will, that would come to the surface as the year unfolded. And they would come to say, you know, we were the first class. We were the ones that founded and started Kayam, our blue deer community. So the clan of the blue deer. The others came through with all of you together, and when you come really solid, sometimes it comes earlier. It's very different with each group. But people also step in here and they recognize their tribe. That's the word they used. So there's something about what the divine is stirring and collecting that's bringing us together here, and we know each other already. So there's a familiarity to the process and to the people inside of that process. At least that's kind of how it's felt to me over the years. Maybe others would have a different view on it. Did that answer your question, Catherine? Very good.
Jyoti, there's another question in here. I
Mhm.
see many people wearing white. Is that something we should be prepared to do in this class or meetings?
Well, you know,
Good
30,
observation.
very good observation. You know, this is our world is what we call a point of study. And so we don't come with absolutes. We come to study. And when you have a really good point of study in a spiritual path, then it brings many other things to the study, things your mind may have never even thought about, synchronicities that occur, people that occur. In our walk and in walking with and being initiated by ceremonial around this planet, there were ceremonies where we were required to wear white because it was a place that you wanted to bring your purity. So you fasted, you prepared your inside of your body just like you dressed the outside of your body. And you did it out of respect and honoring to the ceremony and what was going to be coming and what was going to become, you know, incorporated through the spiritual work of that ceremony. In my life, I went to India. I went through a 13-year process with Kundalini, very intense process with Kundalini. But she woke me up and she reshaped my entire body. And it took me to India to study with Dhyan Yogi. And he was the most, I've been so blessed in my life to be able to come and sit with many amazing masters, and their work weaves itself into everything we do here. Dhyan Yogi was the master of my life, still is. He was 116 years old when he died, and I spent time with him in India, and he initiated me and many of our people in our community follow the Kundalini Yoga way. And I was 30 years ago put in white and given my name and he said the wearing white for me was that every time I looked down, I would never ever forget that my whole life was about service. That was the only thing it could be about. Now, people in the community have gone in and out, and they may have been called for a period of time to change their clothing. But most of the way it landed in the end was that was more of a ceremonial way for people, and this was just a way of life for me. So we don't impose those kinds of things on people. It's really an organic process that comes from within, and when it comes up, we try to hold it, like I said, as a point of study. And we study it together. I had some people send me research at one point, and I found out that when you wear white, your auric field is increased. The intensity of it increases itself. So there's more protection around you. I didn't know that. That's good because the divine has sent me into some not so easy places to walk. But they've been places we needed to go and work we needed to do, and it grew us, and it shined us up. It trained us how to stay firm in the center of ourselves. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you. Shauna, you have a comment that you'd like to make?
Yeah, I just want to give appreciation for the format of the program, which makes it very doable. You know, the monthly meeting and the actual assignment to be turned in is a 500-word integrated kind of journal entry, and I just see a difference in this program that it's more about integration and not, you know, tons of writing assignments or tons of, I don't know, just lots of things to hand in. It makes it very doable. So whether or not this is the right timing or not, it's something that I could fit in and that many people could fit in. So I just appreciate this being its own unique kind of program.
Oh, thank you, Shauna. Thank you for your courage. You inspire me all the time. Um, you know, for the writings at the end of the month, when you do your modules, that's really for you to take in. And what we're really looking for is you take that in and you digest it and you bring it out. So we know that you got the essence of the module. That way we knew you chewed and digested the seed of that part of the formula. And that's what we're looking for. That's all we're looking for. The way an alchemical process has to involve all of your senses for it to be alchemical, for you to open the acausal realm. Now, for some of you for me to be sure that everyone understands what I mean by my language, you know, when the world like out here is cause and effect realm, because something happens and there's an effect from it. It's cause and effect. When you move into archetypal space of study, where really change happens, that's when you go into the acausal realm, and there are very different spiritual laws there. And that realm is not does not operate off a cause and effect. You know, if you take a moment and think back, you probably all had a moment when something happened and all of a sudden you're kind of like in this very different state. It's like time stops, synchronicities go all over, and it's like it's and there's calmness in that moment usually, and it's got a different flavor. Do you know what I'm talking about, most of you? Do I shaking head kind of moment? Okay, I see thumb up over here. That's the kind of moment that I'm talking about. That's an acausal realm. And so a lot of the work that we work with and instruct from is in response to that instruction from that acausal realm. And where she takes us is always through that doorway to the solution we might be studying. Like this moment that we're sitting in on the planet. We are in a moment, are we not? What we do know is in our world, I'll just speak for myself. I look back at that story Darlene was sharing with you, and she has been making a statement through us, cultivating something in us that we're growing and serving, and it's growing and serving us at the same time. There's a full field of reciprocity that's feeding this. And we've come up to the table in this moment of prophecy that's been spoken about all over this planet that describes the moment we're in now. And what an interesting moment that you're calling would bring us into this circle to have this level of discussion. Now that, first of all, has got me kind of going, this class is going to be an interesting class. What mystery are you all walking up to the table with? Because you all have that thread coming forward. And the prophecies, you know, Darlene mentioned that when we went with the fountain, we went down to meet the Mamos. We went down into Colombia. There are 4 original peoples there. And the one you've probably heard the most about were the Kogis. But we worked with the Kogis and the Wiwa and the Arawaka of those 4. And they're still very much involved in our work. They'll be with me in Stockholm in October. They're initiating us still. They're guiding us. The earth is giving us their instruction through them. That we get that instruction, we work it and do it and carry it out. We go to ceremony to give thanks and gratitude for the teachings of it. We get the earth's instruction again, and so we go. So that's bringing us. And what the Kogis said is that the ending was falling into the beginning. And the beginning would roll out in 2026. That it would roll out with those individuals and organizations and movements that were based on original principle of reciprocity, collaboration, unity, heart, and all life is sacred. That we must watch the ending to stay informed, but we must stay focused on that which is breaking through. That's the moment we're in. And prophecies abound from all different parts. And this community is 30 years into walking with prophecy. Prophecy that cultivated us, instructed us, and is now instructing us with how to walk through these times and what parts of the making we're responsible for, because we are in a making. Mother Earth is in a making moment. That's why everything's flowing around. But we have everything we need. So it's actually a moment to celebrate what's giving birth here. It's a long way into a long story, but I hope it touched the things you needed me to touch.
Are there any other questions?
Yeah. If there is room for one.
Of course, yes.
First of all, thank you for all this. I mean, it's beautiful to hear all of this. Thank you so much. And maybe this is a silly question, I don't know. But I followed the moon going through the signs. I do that from time to time, like Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and so forth. So, and to feel the basically just how does it feel right now? What is the vibe of the moment or something like that as the moon goes through all the 12 signs? Now, there is this vibe that you can follow. Does that have anything to do with this full moon calendar? That's my question.
That'd be you, Shitui.
Yes, you know, I'm wondering, I was typing, answering another question over on the right, and I'm wondering if he could repeat just a real quick repeat on the question for me.
It's basically the astrological signs, and as the moon progresses through the signs, it's like, did something happen? I didn't check, you know, the sky for a while, but it's like this moon calendar that we're going to follow. Does that have anything to do with like the, you know, traditional astrological signs? The moon going through the astrological signs of the zodiac or is it because that's something I can relate to? Or is it something else?
So, you know, I don't do the astrological, so I'm going to actually be asking Sybil, who's another minister in our organization. So I'm going to actually work with her because this is actually another word for this is the galactic moon calendar. So if you follow Mayan tradition and of course my own tribal tradition, it follows the July 26th is the beginning of each cycle, and every cycle has 28 days in it. So at the end you have all cycles with 28 days. So whatever's happening astrologically, I can't answer that, but I would be really interested to talk with Sybil a little bit more to see if we can get a better answer for you on that and how that aligns.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you.
And we'll be pulling those things into each time that we speak on the chat with me each month too, so that we have an awareness of what's happening at the same time. So great question. Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay. Well, thank you, Jyoti, so much for coming in.
Yes, excuse me for having to be delayed. I'm right now with all the making. I'm in about 11-hour day back-to-back calls, which are, I know I'm not going to complain about because they're amazing people waking up, coming to sit to the table and say, we gotta jump out of this box. We're going to jump in Mother Earth's nation, and what does she need us to do? And so that kind of collaborative energy is swirling right now. And when you're in a making, You have to stay firm. It's like my Sundance relatives have taught me, trained me up. You have to stay firm and stay focused and catch, 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 because then you'll have a time where it all goes bink, 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 and then it'll start to reveal what it truly is all about. So excuse me for dipping in and dipping out. If you have more questions, I see some of you I haven't seen in a while, and you know we're all evacuated over here because of the fire. So California is bubbling up. We got earthquakes going. The fires are having tornadoes inside of them, and we have a pandemic. Did we wonder if we were being cooked or what? But remember to rejoice in this moment. This is a moment that we all came to put our skin on and to be in service of, because it's a turning time. And we've been through turning times before, and we're here to assist this one in its turning time. So I hope to see you along the trail in one way or another. The magic will prevail. I just made a poem. Did you hear that?
You did. You did. Wonderful. Thank you, sis. And thank you for all the ministers that have been on this call. One of the offerings that is being made is that our mothership membership program is going to be part of your offerings for you in the ministry training program, so that once a month there is, well, there's many calls. It's offerings from our community to our community. So you'll see a lot of ministers presenting their gifts, their calling to us on the call. And one of those calls a month is a fireside chat, mostly with Joe T. So you'll have a moment to be able to be in this closer relationship with her. Sometimes it's me when she's traveling, and I'll get to be with you though intimately every month, which I'm very much looking forward to. So of course we'll be connecting with you, Jyoti, and so we'll be hearing, and you can continue to share, you know, your wisdom and your love for all of this and what's been birthed through you taking that initial leap to say, okay, let's start this community if 3 of my elders say yes, which they all did. So for that, I'm very grateful. And look, the richness that it brought to all of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And, you know, connect with Jennifer if this is calling to you. If it gets full, she can put you on the waiting list. And I know that we're working on acquiring more scholarship fund money. So if you know of people who can help out, who want to make a donation, tax deductible, I don't know if that even makes a difference anymore, but from the heart to the Center for Sacred Studies to help pay it forward for those that might not be able to pay full tuition. And I know in these times, all of our financial realities are very skewed, and some hardship, because we want to be able to have everybody that's coming to the table to be able to come in and sit down and offer this. We're very committed to beginning this program in these amazing times we're in, because that's what she wants us to do. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So I'd like to ask Judy if she's willing to give us a send-off as an elder.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. What a blessing to be here. I just am so grateful. And oh, creator and beings of all sources of light that have come and squeezed into this virtual circle here and tapped your fingers on our shoulders and made your presence known. Thank you. We have felt and heard, and hopefully we will continue listening and being present to the wisdom that comes through these ancestors that are here and these beings that are here, bringing so much to us as we are in the making of this new time. I give thanks for this program and the ways that it has held so many people through very intensely dark and difficult times, and who has celebrated so many moments of great awakening. And as we do that more and more, our feet get more firmly rooted on the earth, and our hands open more in service, and our hearts just become this weapon that is carried out into the world with such compassion and love, and fierce, fierce love for what is needed to be done and taken care of. I give thanks for the voices that have come and shared their thoughts and their presence and their questions, and may we all continue in the study so that we can grow and grow and continue singing the songs that we came here to sing. Thank you for all of these beautiful ways that I have been privileged to be part of. These prayers, these ceremonies, these ways of life. I give great thanks. Aho. Blessings.
Oh,
Love you so much.
blessings.
Thank
Okay,
you.
everyone.
Let's open everybody's mic and see everybody's pictures. Yay!
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
you.
Thank